Okay, here's the last page of the review packet. So going through this sort of last page here. Number 28 says, which of the following equations describes the graph to the right? So if we look over here to the right, we need its vertex. Its vertex is -5, -6. So in an equation, right, our h should look the opposite sign because it has a subtraction sign. So we're going to want option A. 29, what is the axis of symmetry for the graph at the right? That's what cuts it in half right here. So x equals -5 is our h value there. So we have A there. What are the coordinates of the vertex for the graph of y equals x plus 8 squared minus 9? This is where we do h comma k. So we'd have a vertex of -8, -9. Which of the following graphs opens downward? So we need a -a value, which will be B. What is the name of the graph for a quadratic? That graph, that U-shaped graph, is called a parabola. 33, what are the values of the coefficients A, B, and C in the following? So A is going to equal 4, B is going to equal 0, C is going to equal -17. What number would you add to make this a perfect square? That's our first steps of completing the square. So we'll find B, we'll take half of it, and then we'll square it. So the number that we would add would be 81. Jordy purchases a new ring for $1,700. It increases in value by 3% each year. Write an equation to represent the value of the ring each year. So this is where we need to use our exponential growth and decay, right? So we need y equals A, where our A is the original value. Okay, then in parentheses, we're going to do 1, and then we'll add if it's going up, subtract if it's going down. In this case, it's increasing, plus the percent in decimal form, all to the x. So that's y equals 1,700 times 1.03, all to the x. 36, what is the vertex of the parabola? So this is not in the form where we have the parentheses squared. So this is not h comma k. This is where we need to do -b over 2a. Okay, so in this case, our b value is going to be 10. So we want -10 over 2 times 1. So that will be -5. That gives us the first part of our vertex. To find the y value that goes with it, we need to plug it in. So we'll say -5 squared plus 10 times -5 plus 26. And calculate that, which gives us 1. Number 37, we're just going to be plugging in some input values that will actually fit on our graph. Okay, we should know that this won't cross -4. So if we plug in 0, that'll give us -3, right? If you're typing this in a calculator, you can do 3 up caret 0 minus 4. Okay, if we plug in 1, that gives us out -1. If we plug in 2, we get out 5. If we plug in 3, this ends up being too big. It won't fit on our graph, right? So we need to then shift this to -1. And that gives us out -3.6 repeating, -3 2/3. Okay, we're going to have to approximate anyway. So 0, -3, 1, -1, 2, 5, -1, -3.6. Again, we can't cross -4, so when we fill this in, we should be making this shape.